Airmen, soldiers, retirees, and families of Sumpter Smith Joint National Guard Base, we are operating in an unprecedented time of national emergency. This is a very familiar AOR, yet is a very unfamiliar and invisible adversary. As your installation commander, I want to communicate with you directly regarding the current operating procedures and precautions that are being taken in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. I feel that the best way to face any fear is with hard facts, and I pledge to you that I will maintain as much transparency as possible as we negotiate this obstacle. First off, we are in an actual health protection condition, or HIPCON Bravo. You should have already been provided with a chart that depicts the reasons and procedures associated with this status. But here's Lieutenant Sharp from the 117th Medical Group to provide some additional details.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Sharp, the Medical Administrative Officer with the 117th Medical Group. HIPCON Bravo means there is a moderate disease threat and/or real risk of exposure to personnel on this installation due to a significant outbreak of disease in the local area or imminent spread of disease to the local area. During HIPCON Bravo, we should avoid unnecessary contact with others, such as shaking hands and hugging. Avoid unnecessary travel. Adhere to the DoD travel restrictions and consider cancellations of public gatherings. Observe any local guidance on movement restrictions and access requirements for our installation. Seek guidance from your leadership about changes to your work practices and schedule. Comply with all medical orders, including self-isolation or quarantine. Should we see a rise in COVID-19 cases among 117th military members or immediate family members, we will implement HIPCON Charlie. In HIPCON Charlie, the risk of disease threat is substantial for personnel. As an installation, that means we will continue with all the restrictions of HIPCON Bravo, along with the following. Expect increased social distancing and more medical countermeasures, such as wearing of personal protective equipment. For families, you should plan for potential limited access to supplies and services, as well as prolonged periods of time at home.
Thanks, Janelle. Second, I have closed the installation to all except active employees of the base and our required contractors. The only current exception to this policy is that normal access is being granted to the Air National Guard Credit Union at this time. Access to the base gas station will only be granted to active base employees due to transmission risks and resource protection concerns. Additionally, I am asking our drill status guardsmen to remain clear of the base until they are specifically directed to report by their supervisors, and the base gym has been closed until further notice. Third, all service branches are in receipt of the Department of Defense travel policy. It specifically mandates restrictions to TDY travel and leave. It is in effect and requires strict adherence. This policy is clear-cut, mission-centric, and has very few exceptions. We are putting all these measures in place in order to protect our people and distance the COVID-19 adversary from the mission. This base, Army and Air, is home to several critical federal missions that are at the very top of the National Defense Strategy, in addition to other ongoing Title 32 operations within the continental United States. Yes, it's inconvenient, I get it, but these measures are in the best interest of our installation's people and ultimately the mission. An additional challenge is the risk associated with conducting meetings and gatherings. We are now relying on our advanced technologies such as this video teleconferencing, telecons, group meet type applications, all in order to manage, meet, and plan, and even execute in ways we have never previously considered. Large gatherings such as roll calls, commanders' calls, and conferences pose significant risks due to close personal proximities and will be avoided in the near future. To that point, I received word from the state leadership that the April UTA has been canceled due to the outbreak. As you can probably tell, we must now use physical distance while maintaining strong social connections in order to maintain our operational lethality. Thank you to you and your families in advance for your patience, strict adherence to the ever-adapting policies, and for that famous Alabama can-do attitude. It will take all of us working together in different ways to endure the COVID-19 outbreak and still maintain seamless mission coverage. Folks, this is and will clearly be a tough challenge, Let's use it to make this organization and our people stronger. Thank you.